Brother, it's cold outside. But chances are you're in a nice warm building or a nice warm car. Imagine finding yourself trapped in a desolate wasteland, buried in snow, low on supplies, desperately trying to survive until help arrives. But even if the food and water holds out, there are threats prowling about, and you're looking a lot like food to them. Now, why would you want to be in a situation like this? Well, because it's fun, of course. Outpost Siberia by IDW Games is a card game that provides just such an experience. Are ye up for it? Then bundle up, Buccaneers, because we are headed to the frozen tundra.
Separate the cards into 4 stacks: characters, threats, good events, and bad events. Each player takes a character and a life token. Put the token on the highest number to start. You're fit as a fiddle. You won't need the other characters, so stick them back in the box. Shuffle the other 3 decks separately and decide on the difficulty. We'll start with easy, which here means less hard. First, build your expedition deck. Do it like this. Deal 8 cards from the good events and 4 cards from the bad events into a pile. You remember which is which, right? Now, take that pile and shuffle it with the threat cards. And voila! You have an expedition deck. The remaining good and bad event cards shuffle together to form the Outpost deck. Place them side by side and pick your favorite way to mark them so you won't get mixed up. That's all there is to it. You're ready to go. Now, turn order is decided every time a new player is needed. To begin with, players pick the one to go first. Once you've done this, proceed as follows. Take the top 2 cards from the Outpost deck and have a look. Only the lower section will matter, so have a look at the combat value and the equipment. Choose which one to put in your hand and which to add to the supply. The supply will be available for all. If the Outpost deck is ever empty, shuffle up the discard pile to make a new one. Once you've got some monsters in the threat section, this is your chance to take them on. Check the combat value of the cards in your hand. To use one, place it under the threat card with the value showing. You'll need to accumulate enough to match or exceed the threat's health if you want to kill it. Of course, combat value alone can't kill a threat. A finishing blow is still required. All equipment in the supply is fair game. Here we ignore the combat value and focus on the item section. Each will tell you what its effect is. If you've managed to bring a threat up to its health level, then you'll need to use a weapon to finish it off. If this happens, discard the threat and all attack cards. Use an item's effect by discarding it. Some of the items have ongoing effects, so just place those as a reminder until the effect expires. Just when things were going well, a new random element comes along to shake things up. Draw the top card of the expedition deck and check it out. If the card is a threat, place it in the threat area, then choose another player, anyone but you, to take its combat value. You can't pick a player whose character is exhausted, unless all other players are exhausted, in which case, pick whoever you like. Still not you, though. If it's a good or bad event card, the card will want you to discard a food or water, according to its icon. If no one can pony up the fee, then someone has to take 1 damage. This can be you, or anyone else, exhausted or not. However you pay the fee, once it's done, take the card's effect and discard it, unless it instructs you otherwise. At this point, you'll need to turn your card sideways to show that you've wrapped up your turn. Your character is now exhausted. It's been a long day. Check for any end-of-turn effects to discard or cancel. If there are still other players who are not exhausted, pick one to go next and return to Phase 1. The exception to this is that if an unexhausted player took damage from a threat on the previous turn, they then queue up immediately. Now, if all the players are exhausted, it's the end of the round. This is where things get hairy. Any threats in the threat area activate their text. Some might do nothing, but others just keep on coming. Read what they do, then do it. Still alive? Good for you. Check for any end-of-round effects to cancel or discard, then unexhaust all characters. Pick someone to go next and head back to Phase 1. Continue your fight for survival until one of these conditions is met. If you draw the last card of the expedition deck and endure its effects, you've all survived. Congratulations! Time to write a book or get a TV movie deal. However, if any of your players are killed, it's curtains for everybody. You've failed to survive and the game ends. And that's not all. If 5 threats accumulate in the threat area, you're also defeated. Everyone, group failure. Sorry, but them's the breaks. Whether you win or lose, you fought the good fight. Be proud of your crew. After all, teamwork is the name of the game. I hope this helps to get you started, and enjoy your adventure in Outpost, Siberia.
You are all going to die. These are the words written atop the survival guide on IDW's website. They ring all too true, as we've yet to survive a single game of Outpost. This guide also provides a publisher-endorsed augment to the rules, which we just became aware of after we began our review, so we've yet to try it out. But the rules update does seem like it would at least give ye a better chance at life. So if ye are brave enough to embark on this endeavor, then you'll be wanting to click the IDW link in the description. Download, print, and live to see another day. But let's talk about the game itself.
Well, firstly, it's a fine-looking game. The card art is delightful, and the layout is clever, with each one having 3 possible uses. The embossed tin box is not for everybody, but it very much works for me. We've seen more than a few games over the past years that packages a small deck of cards in an oversized box, taking up precious real estate on your crowded shelves, so this one is reasonably sized for what it is. The gameplay is fast-paced and the footprint is small. We did very little thumb twiddling whilst awaiting our turn, and although we haven't taken it to go, I imagine that it travels very well. So there's all that. However, odds are that you and your mates are still going to lose. Badly. Bring friends, lots of friends. We played 2-player, but it's easy to imagine that a larger crew stands a better chance. The theme is human spirit and ingenuity versus impossible odds, and the goal often feels like you're finding the best way to die with dignity. Dying builds character, right? Prepare to build a lot of it. Just also be ready to end each game by saying, "Well fought, brother. We'll get 'em next time." Again, we've yet to add in the rules update, so it may in fact soften the fall considerably. But as it stands, food and water are hard to come by in the wilderness. And in fact, we always seem to have more of the one when we needed the other. The damage that came from running out of these was among our biggest problems. Furthermore, the threats pile up fast, so take them down fast, but pick your battles. These beasts are ridiculously hard to kill, especially since the final blow must come from your supply for some reason. Focus on the ones that will activate at the end of your round first. They make your life hell if you leave them unkilled. But any threat will play a part to your eventual defeat, so take them all seriously. Keep your composure, and show no fear.
In short, this game is not for those who cannot stomach repeated failure. This is leg day. Some will skip it. Some will gain strength from it. But something about the experience compels people to root for it anyway. It is a well-crafted game in need of a few tweaks. The rules update could change the game, and will update once we've given it a try. But for now, that's all the time we've got for this Pirates Parley. If you've got a thought about this game or co-ops in general, drop a comment below and tell us what's on your mind. In the meantime, fare thee well, and beware the Yeti. They bite. Hopefully we were able to answer some questions for you.
If you've anything else to say, comment below and we'll impart what wisdom we can.
And while you're at it, like the video and subscribe.
If you're of the social media type, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram as well.
Stop by and say,
Arr!
Was that too much?
Nay, just right.